Record-setting cold on the way to the area again tonight, and another winter storm takes aim at the Bluegrass State. We'll track it just ahead.
Lexington crews aim to clean up side streets before another night of record cold temperatures set in.
And the Kentucky Blood Center says their need for blood is critical. How many donations they need to make it up ahead.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon. Sam, Dick, and Amber Philpott reporting. We are witnessing history. We are rewriting the weather history books across this state.
Yeah, record amounts of snow have given way now to record low temperatures. And Chris, we may not have even reached the lowest temperature of the day yet, right?
Yeah, we have a chance that as soon as the sun sets to see those readings dropping below the 0 mark as of now. So that is what we're going to continue to be watching for. Wind chill advisory is in effect for the entire area, and between, let's say, 10 p.m. and midnight, we may see those numbers really bottom out yet again. We were way below 0 this morning. We're going to be a little colder than that, I think, around 11 or 12 o'clock, and certainly colder tomorrow morning. That wind chill advisory is out for the gusts tonight that could create wind chills of 20 to 25 below 0. Actual temperatures tomorrow morning anywhere from 5 below to 20 below, and even lower than 20 below. It was 22 below in one location in Harrison County. Had a lot of reports of minus 20 in some of the coldest valleys early this morning, and tomorrow I think is even colder. Watch the hour-by-hour temperature forecast as those readings drop toward minus 5 to minus 10 around midnight, and first thing tomorrow morning we are pressing close to that magical 20-degree below 0 number. Nothing really magical about it outside of that would tie a record for Lexington if we can get there for the coldest ever recorded in February. Winter storm watch is in effect now from late Friday into Saturday and Sunday as well. That includes the entire region, all of central and eastern Kentucky included in that. I would suspect we will add some more counties to that in the northern and northeastern parts of the area. And don't be surprised if this isn't upgraded to a warning at some point later tonight or certainly into early on Friday for a storm system that is going to bring a little of everything our way. The winter storm impact, snow, sleet, and unfortunately, the dreaded ice word will come into play as we go into our weekend. Guys, when I come back in just a few minutes, we're going to try to pinpoint who has the best chance of picking up on all three of those, and it's going to be a tricky accumulation forecast because you're dealing with all kinds of precip falling from the skies. We'll show you that when I come back in 10 minutes.
Chris, thank you. We continue to track a breaking news alert out of Bluegrass Airport. Here's what we know right now. Takeoffs and landings are just now resuming after a small plane ran off the runway.
The FAA says the Cirrus SR-22 ran off runway 22 while trying to take off for Pontiac, Michigan. 3 people were on board. They are believed to be uninjured. Flights had been diverted to Cincinnati and Louisville. Our crew is telling us that the small plane was just towed off the runway about 10 minutes ago. An airport spokesperson just told us the runway is back open and normal operations are resuming right now. We'll keep you posted on any updates with that story. Shelters are opening for people who need a place to stay warm. Jessamine County residents can go to the Nicholasville Elementary School if they need a place to spend the night.
And as our Phil Pendleton tells us from the shelter, this is different. They don't have to leave their pets at home. It's our top story at 4:30.
Well, I'm actually sitting here in the cafeteria of Nicholasville Elementary School, one of the shelters here open in this community. You can come here. It's a nice, warm place to stay. They'll even feed you, and your pets can come with you.
Cots are set up in the gym of Nicholasville Elementary on West Maple Street. Several restaurants in the area have donated food, and a pet shelter is outside. People not wanting to leave their dogs and cats at home can bring them, and there'll be a warm place for them to stay in the trailer outside. A few people have already taken advantage of the shelter, and officials say there's room for plenty more.
We know that people who are in need of shelter or need of food may not want to leave their pets at home, and so we have a special warming area for pets as well.
Traditionally, pets are not allowed in human shelters, so we've come up with a way to allow you to bring your pets to a shelter. They cannot come inside with you, but you have access to them outside. They're inside a trailer. The trailer is heated when need be.
And the shelter will be open all night long, and it'll be closing at noon tomorrow. In Jessamine County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
And the shelter is a joint operation between the Jessamine County Board of Education and Emergency Management. It is for Jessamine County residents only. Well, snow, at least the falling of snow, has pushed out the bluegrass, and we're left with these Arctic frigid temperatures out there. The main roads in Lexington are in pretty good shape, but many neighborhood streets are not.
And with a fresh round of snow just yesterday, crews had to turn their attention back to those primary roads, leaving many side streets covered in snow. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel continues our team weather coverage with an update on progress.
We're just off of Old Todd's Road, and this is one of the secondary roads that city crews are working to treat. You can see for the most part it's pretty clear, but there is still some snow and slush left on parts of the road here. And if you look over there at one of the roads that goes actually into one of the neighborhoods, you can see it still has quite a bit of snow and ice still covering a lot of it. Now, we went to the city salt barn this morning, and it had noticeably less salt than usual, but officials say an additional 1,250-ton shipment will be delivered today. They're also mixing a fine gravel into that salt to help with traction, since a lot of snow that's on the ground is now covered in a layer of ice thanks to these sub-zero temperatures, which, by the way, are making it difficult for road crews to deal with.
With the temperatures this cold, it makes it really hard on both the equipment and the people. You know, if a driver has to get out and clear a clog, you know, we really don't want them exposed to the elements for more than a couple minutes. 12-hour shifts can be pretty long.
Now, city road officials plan to hit as many of these secondary roads as possible while the sun's still out, giving them some help before these record cold temperatures set in again later on tonight. In Lexington, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
Well, the city is also ordering an additional 3,000 tons of salt to prepare for the next round of snow.
The winter storm and Arctic blast are not only affecting roads, but also Kentucky's blood supply. The Blood Center says there have only been a handful of donors so far this week, while transfusions didn't slow down. Now the Bluegrass is receiving help from other states. The Kentucky Blood Center belongs to a network of blood centers that collaborate and take blood from places like California, Delaware, Florida, Iowa, and Minnesota.
We transfuse about 200 or more every single day, day in and day out. So we need 300 or 400 people to show up in any given day to be able to provide that.
The Kentucky Blood Center says they need to make up nearly 1,200 donations lost this week.
Women make up a growing number of the veteran population in Kentucky, but sadly, many of them are missing out on key benefits and services coming to them as a result of their service. Tonight at 6, how the Kentucky Department of Veterans Affairs is reaching out to make 2015 the year of the woman veteran. Ashley Hawkins of Harrodsburg is a decorated veteran of the Iraq War. During her time in the Kentucky National Guard's 617th Military Police Company, she was involved in a number of insurgent ambush attacks. 10 years later, she still suffers from PTSD and receives treatment. Hawkins is in the minority when it comes to women veterans reaching out for help in the form of benefits. She says she knew where to turn, but other women don't always.
Once you get out, usually you're done. You don't know, even though you can educate people on it, they don't know where to turn, who to turn to.
Have that right on our top menu. So
tonight at 6, how the Kentucky Department of Veterans Affairs and Commissioner Heather French Henry is working to reach out to the 33,000 female veterans in our state and make 2015 the year women veterans in Kentucky unite.
Amber, why are women who have served not coming forward?
Yeah, it's the million-dollar question, right? These benefits and services are there if they qualify. And tonight, you're going to hear from Heather French Henry, the KDVA commissioner, who's going to tell you that sadly, many female veterans have not always identified in the past with themselves as being a veteran because it's a very male-dominated term. So they've come up with some really creative ways every single month of this year to reach out, find these women, get them in a database, and say, we're here to help if you need it.
And these are benefits that they deserve, that they've earned.
They've earned by their service, simply serving our country. So you're going to meet Ashley Hawkins, who is getting service, and you're going to see more about what they're trying to do in 2015 coming up tonight at 6.
Live First Alert defended with a clean sweep across central and eastern Kentucky. But coming up, yes, I'm tracking record-setting cold, but I'm also tracking the impact from a potential weekend winter storm.